Hi everyone, we're back for round 3 of stretch and folds. So uncover the dough, take the shower cap off, and wow, this looks really great. See how much it's grown. It's puffing up. There's bubbles forming on the top. You can see the bigger ones, but there's also quite a few little ones. Bubbles underneath. So this is round 3 of stretch and folds. Some people stop after 3 rounds and some people keep going to round 4 and some even 5. I think my dough looks like it's progressing pretty quickly. So I'm not sure that I will do a 4th or a 5th round. So you kind of have to just look at your dough and say, oh, are bubbles forming? Is it smooth? Is it holding its shape? Is it growing? And then you just have to go according to what your dough is saying to you. I know that I've watched enough videos where the person will say, you need to be able to read your dough. Well, it takes a while to get good at that. I still change how I do things sometimes based on what my dough looks like. So here we go, round 3 of stretch and folds. So I'm gonna get it started with this scraper. We should see that it's not very sticky anymore. That's a stretch and fold. And do you see how stretchy it's become? And then we should see it tighten up quickly. There's another one. And then this will be my 4th. The dough is really smooth and pillowy looking already. So I just did a full clock of stretch and folds like this. I don't want to do it so much that my dough starts to tear. So I'm going to do a couple coil folds. They're a little gentler. And it's really not stretching much at all. So then I'd like to try some of the slap and folds because, like I had said, that seems to work the best for me. So I'm going to turn my bowl, and then that's when you pick it up just like a coil fold, and then you just slap it against the bowl. I've been making sourdough since about September, and I only started to try the slap and folds about 2 months ago. So I didn't do them for a long time, but now I'm realizing that I do like the way my dough turns out when I use them. And that looks good. I think I'll stop there. Can you tell that the dough ball has gotten bigger? I'll put it right back in the middle. Look again. That's what it should start to look like. Pillowy. Tuck it under, right in the middle. I will set the timer for 30 minutes again. We'll come back, look at it, see if I want to do another round of stretch and folds, and then we go into the longer process of bulk fermentation. Just so you know, bulk fermentation is something that you will see talked about in almost every video. It's the trickiest part. That is when your dough is fermenting, and then you have to decide when it's done fermenting. If you go too long, it's called overproofing your dough. If you don't wait long enough, it's called underproofing your dough. And your loaf will turn out completely different every time. If you go too long, if you don't go long enough. So finding that sweet spot of when it's actually done fermenting is the hardest part. So The fermentation process, bulk fermentation, starts when you have all of the ingredients in. So starter, flour, water, when those are mixed together, that's when it starts. So I have to always look at the clock and see what time I started that. I added the salt in. It usually takes my dough, because it's on a warming mat, 5 hours, 5 to 6. I had been waiting for 6 or 7 hours, and I think I was overproofing my dough. And then what happens is your dough is stickier and it doesn't rise very much in the oven. So I'm gonna look at it and see if I just need to leave it sit those last few hours and finish fermenting, and then I can come and shape it and put it in the refrigerator. But we'll see. I'll set the timer for 30 minutes and then come back and make that decision then.